Mexicans are hardworking. That is a stereotype I have often heard since I myself am half Mexican. How is it then that there exists a cultural artifact that is symbolic of the opposite idea? The sleeping Mexican is an image that can be found in many art mediums, usually a man sitting hunched over with his head resting on his knees, wearing a sombrero and a poncho. Depending on your perspective, he is either a symbol of laziness or hard work. But either way you look at it, a stereotype is a stereotype. Now more than ever, it is imperative that we take a look at our own generalizations. In an article for Tucson Weekly titled "The Sleeping Mexican Wakes Up," author Gustavo Arellano outlines the history and viewpoints surrounding the notorious image and highlights the importance of owning the stigma in order to reclaim it. We will take a look at the origin of the image, the stereotypes that it represents, its use in the mainstream, how the image can be repurposed, and why it is so important to do so today. In an interview for KJZZ, Maribel Alvarez, a professor at the University of Arizona School of Anthropology, tells the history of the sleeping Mexican, beginning with the work of a Colombian sculptor named Romulo Rosso. He lived most of his life in Mexico. He loved Mexico so much that he was able to receive naturalization on the day that he died. Despite his intentions, Rosso's image was mocked and became what we know today as the sleeping Mexican. The image has been known to make people uncomfortable. It has long been used to label Mexicans as lazy or sleeping on the job. When coupled with a bottle, the message becomes one of drunks or borrachos. Even on the other end of the spectrum, some people view him as a symbol of hard work. A farmer who has woken up early and is now taking a siesta from a hard day's work. While this may seem like a positive stereotype, the underlying message is one of generalization. There's still the implication that Mexicans are only valuable for their hard work ethic. The caricature can be found sold in Mexico in the form of figurines, blankets, paintings, etc. But the image has also made its appearance in the mainstream. An episode of the George Lopez show titled "George Cannot Let Sleeping Mexicans Lie" aired on April 24th, 2007. In this episode, George and his family are offended by a sleeping Mexican statue that adorns the home of a new white neighbor. Members of the family are so offended by the statue that they destroy it out of pride. When the son is caught, George must teach the lesson that the better method of retribution is to educate oneself. I identify with this culture because I myself am Mexican. Looking at current events, it is evident that stereotypes of Mexicans and Mexican culture has been detrimental to our country and our citizens. Right now, we have immigrants, documented or not, who are being targeted and detained simply because they look like they may have crossed a border. A culture of people who were once misjudged as lazy has now progressed and been profiled as criminal or even subhuman. So what can we do now? An artist like Judy Baca has challenged the stereotypes by reimagining the sleeping Mexican. In an article for the LA Weekly titled "Judy Baca Paints History in Living Color," Baca uses large-scale versions of the sleeping Mexican as a canvas to depict scenes of both bucolic and beauty and darker events. By adding her own experiences to the sleeping Mexican, she changes the meaning and the experience tied to it. Whether you view the sleeping Mexican as an image of strength or an image of racism, it is important to question our own way of thinking, especially when dealing with generalizations. The sculpture that was once created by Romulo Rosso has taken on a life of its own and become a point of contention for different people. But through the lens of personal experiences and stories, it is possible to reclaim the narrative. I urge you to keep your eyes open for the sleeping Mexican, and when you see him, think of your own experiences with stereotypes and what you can do to help change them. Thank you.